Ghana to become first blockchain-powered country in Africa. With the implementation of blockchain technology, Ghana is likely to be the first country in Africa to do so. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the Vice President of Ghana and a person who is sometimes referred to as Mr. Digitization, has claimed that the next phase in Ghana's digitization initiative is to establish itself as the first government in Africa that is powered by blockchain technology. Now we are moving on to the next stage of the effort. He said, the capabilities of the technology to automate processes have the potential to save Ghana and other countries throughout the continent billions of dollars that have been wasted as a result of corruption. Bawumia shared this information with those who were present at the 14th Regional Conference and Annual General Meeting of Heads of Anti-Corruption Agencies in Commonwealth Africa, which was held in Accra with the attendance. The technology that is commonly referred to as blockchain is usually referred to as revolutionary in a multitude of sectors, including politics on a global scale. The utilization of this technology makes it possible to identify and document every change that may take place in digital data. As a result, it provides a record of transactions that is not only transparent but also traceable within the context of governance. It has been reported by GhanaWeb that Bawumia is of the belief that this new development will make it feasible for the government to successfully compete against corruption and will also make it easier to promote transparency. As a result of corruption, poor governance, incompetence, and a lack of accountability, Ghana and other countries on the continent have lost billions of dollars. The automation capabilities of the technology have the potential to save billions of dollars that have been lost. During the course of his speech on the digital initiatives that the government has undertaken since 2017, Bawumia brought up the website Ghana.gov. This portal is a one-stop platform that enables individuals to pay for governmental services digitally. Since the year 2020, the government has been able to collect 201 billion Ghanaian cedis through the use of this portal. Along the same lines, the digitization of the procedures that are involved in gaining a passport led to a considerable increase in the number of applications that were submitted to the passport office. The number of applications increased from 347,000 to 752,000 under this process. There was a substantial rise in revenue from 12 million Ghanaian cedis to 94 million Ghanaian cedis between the years 2018 and 2023. This was a big gain. The Controller and Accountant General's Department was able to remove 29,000 ghost pensioners from the public sector payroll. This was accomplished by the integration of databases from the public sector through the utilization of the Ghana card. The country was able to realize significant annual savings of 480 million Ghanaian cedis as a consequence of this result. By employing a one-of-a-kind identity card known as the Ghana card, the government was able to identify 44,707 ghost names that were present on the payroll of the National Service Scheme. There was a reduction in expenses of 156 million Ghana cedis as a consequence of this. His strong advice was that anti-corruption authorities all throughout Africa make investments in digital forensics and tools a top priority in order to aid in the tracking, tracing, and disruption of the value chain of corruption. He emphasized the importance of this suggestion. The Vice President stressed that Ghana would be able to battle corruption in a more effective manner if the central bank ultimately adopted the Central Bank Digital Currency, CBDC, which is also referred to as the ECD. This was a point that was emphasized several times throughout the speech. In the year 2024, Ghanaians find themselves at a crucial crossroads, as they are getting ready to participate in elections that will likely have a significant impact on the course of their economic development and governance. Because of this, the year 2024 will be one that leaves an impression on Africa. In the upcoming presidential election, which is set to take place on December 7, Dr. Bawumia, who is also the candidate representing the National Patriotic Party, NPP, will compete against John Mahama, the former president of Ghana from the previous administration. It is predicted that the election would be fought with great intensity. John Mahama, a former president of Ghana, was selected by an overwhelming majority of the National Democratic Congress, which is Ghana's largest opposition party, to continue serving as the party's leader for the presidential election in 2024. This decision was made by delegates of the National Democratic Congress. It is largely acknowledged that Ghana is one of the most stable democracies in Africa, and this is the third time that Mahama would run for the president of Ghana. As a result of the untimely death of John Atta Mills in July 2012, Mahama, who was serving as vice president at the time, gained authority and eventually became president of Ghana. After the election, which took place later that year, he emerged victorious. Since the year 2016, he has been a vocal supporter of the idea that he should be allowed to serve a second and full term in office. During the elections that took place in 2016 and 2020, Mahama ended in second place, trailing President Nana Akufo-Addo. On the other hand, the next election in Ghana is accompanied by a significant worry regarding the lack of interest shown by many voters. Both the cedi currency and the cost of living have increased as a result of the nation's present economic crisis, which has generated protests. The cedi currency has plummeted as a result of the crisis, which has caused the cost of living to rise. The public sentiment suggests that a sizable percentage of inhabitants are apathetic towards elections. This is because they believe that successive administrations have left them with little to no development in their lives. A large number of citizens are indifferent to elections. The democratic process that is currently going place in Ghana is susceptible to being undermined by this lack of excitement. This lack of enthusiasm poses a threat to Ghana's democratic process. However, voter apathy is a significant concern looming over Ghana's upcoming election. No party in Ghana has ever won more than 2 consecutive terms in power, hence Ghana's electoral decision and outcome will wield significant influence on the continent. Do you think the digitization would be able to solve the corruption and economic crisis for governments across on the African continent? Please mention it in your comment. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you would like it and subscribe to my channel so that you may be notified when the next video is posted.